The global reset, an era vanishes beneath ice and water. Around 13 millennia ago, the planet stood on the brink of renewal. Colossal beasts, such as mammoths, were still traversing the land. Ocean levels were dramatically lower, exposing vast stretches of the continental shelf where early communities thrived. Humanity awaited a golden age, a warm reprieve from the long ice age. However, this expectation was cruelly shattered. Without any precedent, the climate system suffered a sharp collapse. Global temperatures in the northern latitudes instantly plummeted by a shocking 15 degrees Celsius. Retreating glaciers aggressively surged forward. The planet's weather conditions plunged into total chaos. Relentless, brutal winters replaced the mild ones. This sudden, millennial global cataclysm is now known as the Younger Dryas event. For anyone who survived it, the experience must have been indistinguishable from total annihilation. What caused this terrifying, rapid climatic reversal? Experts propose two radically different, yet equally devastating scenarios. Theory A: the glacial tsunami. Colossal ice sheets in North America created gigantic reservoirs, veritable ticking time bombs of fresh water, such as the prehistoric Lake Agassiz. The integrity holding these megalakes failed. An unimaginable torrent of meltwater uncontrollably surged into the North Atlantic. This inflow of light, cold water effectively choked the vital Atlantic thermal conveyor system. The heat engine stopped, instantly condemning Europe and the North to a deep, prolonged freeze. Theory B: catastrophic impact. Evidence suggests that approximately 12,800 years ago, a swarm of fragmented comets may have slammed into the ice sheets. Proponents of the cosmic impact model point to undeniable physical traces: a thin, characteristic carbon-rich boundary layer, found across dozens of sites globally. This residue contains exotic materials: nano-sized diamonds, microscopic molten spherules, charcoal, and unusually high levels of platinum, which are conclusive signs of an impact from space. This singular event could have simultaneously triggered massive wildfires, ejected debris into the stratosphere, and initiated profound cooling and subsequent mega-floods. Whether the disaster was caused by ice collapse or falling celestial bodies, the result was a definitive, all-encompassing cataclysm. The flood, an echo in global memory. The resulting floods were truly of horrific magnitude. In North America, scars from breakout floods created the scablands, dry canyons carved by water moving at phenomenal speeds, forming waves taller than any modern skyscraper. Concurrently, the world's oceans underwent a colossal surge, rising by more than 120 meters. Vast coastlines, productive river deltas, and settled plains were permanently swallowed. Millions of square kilometers of potential pre-Younger Dryas settlements now lie buried beneath the waves. Is it mere coincidence that numerous legends tell of cities sinking, such as Atlantis, Greece, Weiss, France, or Dwarka, India? The most compelling fact is that virtually every ancient civilization preserves tales of a devastating global flood. From Mesopotamia, Utnapishtim, to India, Manu, to the Hopi and Australian Aborigines, narratives of near-total destruction by water are universal. These stories are not mere fables. They are enduring fragments of memory, passed down through millennia, encoding the deep trauma of the Younger Dryas into our collective human identity. Civilizations perished. The real troubling mystery is the scale of knowledge that vanished. Entire volumes of human history may be permanently submerged. Mysterious structures and the civilizing mentors. While the world endured this dark age, surviving human groups struggled. The established Clovis culture in the Americas abruptly ceased to exist. In the Middle East, the proto-agricultural Natufian society was forced to abandon its attempts at a sedentary lifestyle, reverting to nomadism because their staple foods froze. But just as climatic equilibrium was restored, something utterly unprecedented manifested. The architectural enigma, the Göbekli Tepe anomaly. Immediately following the end of the Younger Dryas, around 9600 BC, an unexpected discovery in modern-day Turkey overturned all known timelines. This was the Göbekli Tepe site. This ancient complex features colossal stone rings adorned with T-shaped pillars, some reaching 4.5 meters in height and weighing more than 10 metric tons. These pillars were meticulously quarried, transported, and erected by simple hunter-gatherers, who presumably had no metal tools, no wheel, and no beasts of burden. Nevertheless, they successfully engineered the earliest known monumental sanctuary in the world, demonstrating a mastery of organization and construction not anticipated for several thousand more years. Göbekli Tepe and nearby sites, Karahan Tepe, Taştepeler, signal a widespread cultural flourish. Was this merely a spontaneous religious awakening that preceded agriculture? Or, as heterodox experts suggest, was it an effort to restore, the first attempt by a surviving remnant to revive the traditions of a lost, complex civilization? Intriguingly, around 8000 BC, the complex was deliberately buried, preserving it intact. Was this a final ritualistic act? Or was it an encrypted message for the distant future, a sealed repository of knowledge? The Sphinx, witness to the flood. The trail of this enigmatic pre-cataclysmic era leads southwest to Egypt, to the perennial Great Sphinx of Giza. The accepted dating attributes its construction to Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BC. However, in the 1990s, geologist Dr. Robert Schoch and his colleagues noticed that the Sphinx enclosure walls show signs of deep, rounded weathering, consistent with long, heavy rains, rather than mere desert wind erosion. The critical point is that Egypt had not received such powerful, sustained rainfall since the end of the Ice Age, approximately 10,000 years ago, right as the Younger Dryas was concluding. If Schoch's analysis is correct, the Sphinx is a survivor relic of the final Ice Age phase, scarred by the deluges of a world that predates the pharaohs. Its mighty lion body symbolizes power, while its human face may represent the commemoration of early, forgotten founders, the original cultural mentors. The myth of the sages. If advanced knowledge vanished, how did it reappear? Global myths provide an unambiguous answer through the mentors of civilization. In South America, Andean legends tell of Viracocha, a fair-skinned, bearded creator who emerged from the waters of Lake Titicaca after the Great Flood to teach the populace astronomy, architecture, and agriculture. In Mesoamerica, this was Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, who brought calendars and advanced mathematics. In Mesopotamia, Oannes, an amphibious being, emerged daily from the Persian Gulf to instruct humanity in writing and science. Were these deities, or were they simply human survivors, scholars, engineers, or priests who sailed the globe after the flood, desperately attempting to transfer salvaged fragments of their highly technical culture to those struggling to recover, lost giants and celestial blueprints? The Younger Dryas was not just a climatic failure, it functioned as a harsh evolutionary filter. For countless centuries, humans coexisted with formidable creatures, mammoths, mastodons, giant ground sloths, and terrifying saber-toothed tigers. These giants abruptly vanished within a few centuries. This time frame perfectly aligns with one of the most radical extinction events in Earth's history. While overhunting may have played a part, the primary cause was likely ecological implosion. The cold, the floods, and the global fires annihilated their food sources and habitats. For our ancestors, this was the end of their entire ecosystem. This shock necessitated rapid shifts in lifestyle, causing many cultures to vanish completely. If pre-cataclysmic mentors of civilization traveled, their cargo was certainly not just tools. It was highly developed cosmological knowledge. Decoding the stars. A return to Göbekli Tepe reveals deeper meaning. The famous Pillar 43, or the Vulture Stone, contains carved symbols that, according to some analysts, represent an accurate star map. This diagram, they suggest, precisely indicates the moment of the Younger Dryas impact, serving as a permanent astronomical marker of the catastrophe. It is less a myth than a warning celestial record, carved into eternal stone. Similarly, the pyramids of Giza exhibit incredible, precise orientation to the cardinal directions, coupled with an alignment that mirrors the Orion's belt stars at a specific epoch. Scholars like Robert Bauval suggest this celestial diagram was calculated and engineered as far back as 10,500 BC, predating the dynastic period. If these monuments were conceived in that era, they function as an extensive geoastronomical archive, preserving advanced information about Earth and the heavens. The ocean, the ultimate repository. The inherent bias of mainstream archaeology lies in its dependence on accessible land excavations. However, if major societies flourished along rich coastlines, their remnants are permanently beyond the reach of traditional tools. For instance, the submerged relics off the coast of Dwarka in the Indian Ocean. Marine researchers have found stone walls and geometric formations that perfectly align with local myths about the sinking of Krishna's city during a period of massive sea level change. Another case is the Yonaguni structure in Japan. Regardless of the ongoing debate about its origin, its sharp angles and massive terraces would have had to be carved when the object was above the ocean surface, which is precisely the end of the Ice Age period. Thus, the ocean acts as the planet's greatest archive. It didn't just swallow these worlds, it hermetically sealed them, preserving them from erosion, but simultaneously rendered them invisible to our modern methods. Our own genetic blueprint may silently echo this trauma. Ancient DNA studies reveal significant bottlenecks in human populations, coinciding with a massive, stressful event. The Younger Dryas was not just a pause, it was a complete system reboot. Advanced cultures were forced into desperate reconstruction, using only scattered remnants of former knowledge, preserved in legends, constellations, and eternal stone monuments. The data showdown and the great unsolved mystery. We are thus faced with a fundamental choice between two distinct narratives of human history. The established viewpoint posits a slow, steady development. Humanity gradually transitions from the Paleolithic, masters agriculture, and finally embarks on monumental construction. The opposing theory proposes a monumental cataclysm that destroyed a complex era, leaving behind only fragments of expertise which the survivors hastily encoded into massive stoneworks. The trail of evidence from the mysterious cultural mentors leads us to sites of unprecedented mastery. In Tiahuanaco and Pumapunku, Bolivia, massive blocks are carved with extraordinary, almost industrial precision. The joints and angles seem impossible to achieve with the primitive tools attributed to their builders. Similarly, at Sacsayhuaman, Peru, walls of colossal, irregular stones fit together perfectly without mortar, creating a monumental jigsaw. The question remains, how did they do it? Further compounding the mystery are continuous underwater finds near Dwarka and the submerged steps of the Yonaguni Monument, all of which were clearly submerged during the rapid sea level rise after the Ice Age. The academic standoff, gradualism versus abrupt change. The entire story surrounding the Younger Dryas is a direct clash of scientific paradigms. Traditional archaeology demands proof. If an advanced civilization existed, where are its artifacts, metal tools, and cities? Catastrophe theorists counter. The physical evidence lies under 120 meters of ocean and millennia of sediment. They consistently emphasize unresolved anomalies. Geology. Rain-induced erosion damage on the Sphinx enclosure. Impact traces. The black matte layer containing nanodiamonds, confirming the Younger Dryas was a planetary catastrophe. Construction. The unprecedented scale and intricate masonry of Göbekli Tepe and Pumapunku, which materialized seemingly out of nowhere. Shared lore. The global recurrence of flood legends, acting as an ancient, coded report of a worldwide cataclysm. The Younger Dryas was a defining moment that wiped away previous history and forced humanity to begin again. If there was no catastrophe, why did the established trend toward sedentary life suddenly cease? And if early man was truly primitive, why did he immediately embark on constructing megalithic temples as soon as the chaos subsided? Our modern world is literally built on the silt and ash of the Ice Age's conclusion. If the flood truly reshaped the face of the earth 12,000 years ago, entire cultures were lost in the waves. Nevertheless, survivors persisted. They rebuilt, remembered, and passed down warnings through the most enduring medium, history. These accounts continue to resonate across continents and time. Whether they are interpreted as symbolic folklore or historical records, they are among our most ancient inheritances. The central mystery remains unsolved. Was the Younger Dryas merely a violent natural event, or the genuine source of humanity's deepest flood memory? Did it obliterate complex societies we have yet to find? Or was it that single event that forced a universal reset, laying the foundation for civilization as we know it? I leave this profound question for you to ponder. Share your hypotheses in the comments below.